Anima allows the design team to design in their tool of choice and then add complex animations, hover states, links, interactions, responsive breakpoints, and then push all of that up to Anima, where the development teams now have access to HTML, CSS, React code snippets, the entire code package. They can override tags and interact and download with every single asset in the project. It's seamless, it's easy to use, it allows you to comment, collaborate, share prototypes, and push things live. It's absolutely insane. This is Anima. All right, now that we've finished our project, we've uploaded it and we've synced it to Anima, it's time to start collaborating with our development teams. We do that inside of our project dashboard simply by pressing the plus and inviting people to the project. We can either click press play, or any of the screens that are here are able to be tapped on, and we can view that screen inside of our play mode. This is play mode that we're currently in. It's playing our prototype. That means everything is working the way it's supposed to. Our loading animations are running and looping. Our hover animations are working just fine. Our anchor links and our external links are all working. It's like a real deal website. If you wanted to, from here, you could literally download the code and you could get components in either HTML or React code. To do that, we would go over to the code mode, or if you want to, you can actually download the entire code pack, and that would be the entire website just created, done. Nothing else needs to be added to it. Notice that when you're downloading the code pack, we have a little settings menu. That will allow us to either download in pure HTML or React code. If we are downloading in pure HTML, we get to dictate whether or not we want absolute positioning or autoflex. One is better for engineers, the other might be better for prototypes. And once we're there, we just press the download button and we're gonna go ahead and get our code package. Maybe you don't wanna download the entire code package. Maybe it's time for you to start collaborating with your team. Well, the best way and easiest way to do that is to move from the play tab over to the comment space. We're able to navigate throughout our design. We can scroll over individual elements and we can left click on those elements and leave a comment. For instance, we could say, this text is too bold, try medium, something like that, and go ahead and send that comment. From here, anybody on our team is able to reply to this comment. They can hit the reply and then add their comment there. I agree, too bold, press send, and now we have its own little thread of conversation that happens about any individual element inside of your project. This comment is currently open. It's open for conversation, but if we want to close down this conversation, all we have to do is click on our little meatball menu and go ahead and resolve. We can see our open comments and our resolved comments, and they're all held together. They're organized and we can see them and look back on how we've progressed the project. What's great is when you're out here in the comments section, anywhere you click, for instance, on this I love this button comment, click on it and it will scroll you down to the place where that comment was made. It will highlight the individual element it was made on. So again, we can go, this text is too bold. That'll shoot us up to the top to give us context of what we're talking about. This is the comment section. It's super helpful and it's a great workflow. Let's dive deeper and talk about collaborating with developers by moving over to the code tab. And once I move over to the code space, you can see that this code tab has actually moved up and into our space. We can push it back down and then access it later if we want, but we can bring it up and see exactly what we're working with. Our code tab allows us to click on any individual element, like this text that's here, and it will give us compliant code over here on the elements side and on the styling side. So right now, we're using HTML and CSS. We can move this over to React if we want, and we're gonna get beautiful, clean, semantic React code for our project. Let's go back to HTML. With our elements selected, we can come up to a right-hand panel and actually override the tag that's being used, add CSS properties, or mark things as components. And as I move around, it's giving me the different kind of readout or different code for those individual elements. This way, if your developer wants to, he can actually grab all of this code and then implement right into the project that he's working on. Highlight certain sections, or he can copy the whole thing and punch it into his text editor. Now you've seen that we can switch between HTML and React code, but what are the rest of these selections down here? Well, this one is gonna give you code preferences. It's gonna allow you to switch between absolute positioning and flexbox. I like flexbox, I'm gonna keep it there. This is a really exciting thing. It's going to allow you to group elements together. So for instance, maybe I want to group these buttons together and create one kind of component or one grouping out of them, and that wasn't done inside of the design file. I can grab group elements and I can just highlight all the elements that I want to group together. And here we go. We have all of our divs, all of our classes, all of our content that's inside of them, and our CSS class as we've grouped them together. That's pretty cool. The next thing we can do is compare it to the design. So click our Compare to Design button. It's going to show you how close this is to the actual design. It's pretty cool, actually. It's very, very close to the design file. If we get out of the Compare Design mode and we're currently selecting nothing, we can go ahead and select an element on our design. Then we can use the breadcrumb to track back to the highest level div that everything is in, and we could actually open this thing up in a code pen. All right, there we go. We're just gonna put our design over here on this side, and it's not showing us the responsive nature of it, but it is showing all of these things laid out so we can see the compliant HTML and CSS. It's making our import statements for us. This is gonna be really helpful to your development teams. The last thing your development teams are absolutely gonna love is gonna be moving over to the assets panel. I have nothing selected right now. I'm gonna move over to the assets panel and we can see every asset that's in our project. So if they need the logo, boom, they can download it. If they need the different iOS screens that are being used, boom, they can download them. They can download the individual assets, or they can download all of the assets that are in this screen simply by clicking right there. Now from here, your developers can grab individual snippets of code, download those snippets, or download the entire code package. It's up to them, but the sky is the limit now for your development teams. They have everything they could possibly need to bring your creation to life. The last thing I want to talk about is the project settings. I'm going to head back to the dashboard of my project. Now we can also share this project a few other ways. We can head back to our dashboard of our project and head up to the share button. By clicking that, we're able to invite people to the team, invite people to the project, or send people a prototype link that they can literally just open up and test. It's going to give you a very unique prototype link that they can test. From here, people that are viewing your prototypes are able to restart the prototype, leave comments, and check for code. It's a really awesome way to get people to test your sites. Once we've done that, we're able to manipulate the project settings by heading to the project settings tab, pulling that up. We can change the name of the project and what the current team is. We can archive or delete this project. Again, we can invite guests to the project. We have that prototype link, but we can also add a custom domain if we want. You can type your domain in here, it'll take you through a process of connecting that domain. You can add site information like a favicon and a cover image. This is going to show when you're posting this prototype or maybe the site on Facebook or social media. You're able to add an app icon, SEO settings, and form submissions. If you go through the process of creating forms, you'll be able to check all the submissions here and download a CSV of any of those submissions. You can also head over and see the different versions of your site. And here in the file section, you can upload custom media and files. So if you want to upload fonts, you want to upload images and GIFs and have them specific to the project, they'll upload here. It's a pretty sweet workflow. Well, that's it. That's everything you need to know about Anima. And in this video, we were able to finish that collaboration process by handing off our prototypes to our development teams. They were able to comment, grab code, download the entire code package, push things up to GitHub, manipulate the actual prototype, overriding tags and adding CSS attributes. They could do all of that inside of Anima. Anima is a powerful collaboration tool that really bridges the gap between the two sides of design and development. It brings them together and it offers a lot to each side. Designers should be stoked because they now have the ability to add interactions and animations and do really cool stuff from their design tool. Developers should be excited because now the designers get to kind of implement their vision in the design tool, and by the time they receive it as developers, it's already basically coded. They're just grabbing snippets, grabbing the assets they need, and implementing it into their development environment. I love Anima. I think it's super cool. If you're working in a team, you should definitely consider it because it's great for collaboration and workflow. If you're interested in trying it out, sign up, try it out for free. There's a link down in the description to Anima. I hope you guys enjoyed the series. If you did, make sure you leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I do lots of videos about design and development and collaboration tools just like this one, so maybe stick around by hitting that subscribe button and the little bell notification icon so you know when another video like this one comes out. I hope you guys are having an amazing week. I hope you're designing amazing things. Hope you're making amazing things. And I hope you're finding the best tools that work for your teams and collaborating well. I'll see you in the next one.